Okay, so Eric is going to show me how to make practice exams from the very first steps.
Yes. And there is one thing we need to do that I am trying to accomplish very sneakily. Okay, I updated the template. Okay, now I'll share my screen. Cool. So the first step that we need to do is we need to go to this SharePoint destination and make sure that we have this practice exam template Excel file. I don't know if this one is still active, but I do know that James was using this one. So once we download that, we can open up Excel and we can either select new here or we can go new and then from template. And then we're going to want to just drag this. How do I make a new template? No, I open it first. Save as template. Okay. So download the template, open it, and then save it as a template for yourself so that you don't even need to look for it anymore. Save. So now when we go from template, there it is, double click it. And then now we can get going into making our practice exam. So we need to find our TG manuscript. Let's see. Documents. So I'm going to do this as a test. If we don't need any practice exams right now.
What would it normally be labeled?
It would normally be labeled the mod number, and then at least have the word practice in it. I like to do practice exam myself, but just to differentiate between the real exam. And then once we do that, we'll get our TG manuscript. And this part can be a little tedious because we need to do some copying and pasting, etc. So thankfully, this one only has 10 questions. But first, we start with the language. This particular instance is millwright. We are in level 3. I think we used the number. Just going to double check. Now you can use another practice exam Excel sheet kind of as a guideline, but definitely don't copy and paste anything from it because something weird happens when we do that.
Okay.
We haven't figured out why, but
Good to know.
this is the 4th edition. I call this mod quintuple 0. Okay. Just like that. Or whatever, we'll just make one up.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is where we start getting to the copy and pasting. So we'll start with review question 1. We're looking at the section here. So this one's 1.4. You can do this in whatever order you're comfortable with.
So these practice exams come from the review questions in the TG manuscripts.
Correct.
Okay.
It's very rare that we have a math workout. Probably be in a math mod. But if we did, there'd be a section back here explaining the math process, somewhere around here. And we would basically copy and paste those sentences or lines into the math workout.
Okay.
The STEM is just the question. We're also going to go through the key first. I think this needs to be capital. I'm pretty sure. Capital. Okay. I go through the answer options. Visually, Excel can be a little weird.
Yeah, I've seen how it can go over, like, sentences will run on like that when you don't want them to, and sometimes it'll be short when you also don't want it to. Like, it'll disappear when you also don't want it to. That's fine.
Yeah, I just realized that as I started pasting, I was like, I usually do this in reverse. And then after we're done with this, we're going to save this into a new folder. It's basically named the same. We're going to name this file. Or I did that already. I did make a folder. What am I talking about? It's because this isn't real.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. Actually, let me just go ahead and save this now. So this is supposed to be on number practice exam. I've been trying not to get the paragraph tags or whatever. I don't exactly know if that's a requirement, but I wouldn't want empty paragraphs in the exams. And we can do the practice exams basically after we get the TG manuscript.
Okay. So, oh,
We
okay.
might
Well, that
wanna-
makes sense because all the information's in there.
Yeah, I mean, we might, have more important things to do than this.
Yeah.
The practice exams are kind of not that important. More of the what's it called?
Gotcha.
Obligation by contract for Pearson. But plus, a couple passes on the TG won't hurt, especially if they find the editors find something to change. We do also track that on the sheet if something does change.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw a few of them were kind of going back and forth. What kind of stuff changes in those that would make them go back and forth a little bit?
So typically it's nothing really crazy. Maybe so one thing I've seen is this particular question right here, number 9, it ends with punctuation. So the answers need to start with capitalization
Oh, okay.
versus a sort of fill in the blank. These are lowercase.
Okay. So the grammatical stuff.
Yeah. Or if they don't like, one of the number options or something like that. Actually, I could show real quick.
Do you think this is something we could just make like a checklist for to double check ourselves so we can reduce the number of passes?
For what questions get edited?
Yeah. Like to point out
Um,
things like you just said, like if it could save us time.
I think I think because the editors look at this so much, this shouldn't really be a problem.
Okay.
It might end up taking maybe more time than it should. So like in this example, for level 3, um, just for question 7, add period at the end of the question stem. So it's just like one period just at the stem.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay.
This one has, yeah, periods at the end of each answer. So
Okay. Easy. It's easy. We don't have to put too much time, effort into this then.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that number had to change for one question. So we do track it. The editors will mark that. This goes straight to their sheet. Um, and then, yeah. So we saved it. Now I'm going to navigate to it. So in this particular instance, I am going off my own computer. Uh, that's why I changed the project. We're going to go and open this Excel sheet. And then in Archive browser, we will drop down the Excel folder. And then worksheets, just going to open sheet 1. There should be 2 sheets here. There's not 2 sheets. We're probably going to have a bad time. Okay. Just making sure I get the transformation name right. It is Excel worksheet assessment to NCS. It's typically the one at the bottom. So this is just going to turn that entire Excel sheet into code. It does not take a long time. Now we can close this sheet, go back to our project tab, and we have now an out folder here. So we'll open this up to NCS assessments. Yeah. So there's 2, well, this whole thing is important, but there's 2 things we're going to focus on. The data map, the module number data map,
Mm-hmm.
and the module number answer keys data map. We're gonna, okay, let me go back. First, we can check the editor, because in here, we want to make sure sometimes things change in here, the naming, what have you. Okay, that's good. Okay, so first we'll start with the regular data map. We're going to do the PDF for the practice exam. When we hit run transformations, there's this pop up on the first pass. We're going to want no scrambling. We'll go through the other ones soon. So that was for the question options. This is for the answer options. Use previous order, no scrambling. Doesn't matter, same thing in this first instance. If we do generate a new order and we want to keep it, we'll use the previous, but right now, no scrambling. So now we can check in this out folder, NCS out. It has now made this exam folder. If you really want to know, this is named by the timestamp. So 2022, September 21st. It is 10:23 a.m. This is our PDF. So this is just the preview mode. For the editors, they can see right from the get, the order is in normal order, same with the options. And then they get the question. This is more for us, the identifier, in case we do have to make changes to a question and they are scrambled. But they can also see what's correct. There's a few other things that the editors will more than likely look for that we need to be on the lookout for. So the copyright date, and then the title, is going to be down here along with the mod number, as well as up here. This part right here is a little long. Might have to update that. We need to take 5 of those underscores away. I thought we fixed that. So what the module data map does is it takes the data file and then all the question files and generates the PDF. So this is where the top part comes from.
Okay.
Take away 5 of those. So now we've made that, we'll move on to the answer keys. The exam needs to be made first before the answer keys. And then our 2 options are final or preview. We're going to do preview until we know for sure we're done. And that transformation was right underneath AK, in this case, is answer keys. So now the editors will open both the answer key and the exam. They can see the order is the same, the answers are the same. And then here's where they can check the references. So once that has been done, we'll make edits to it. Let's see. This edits. Would you like for me to do edits, or do you want me to just keep doing this?
So this is where, so basically now you're done and you would mark this on the sheet as ready for editorial?
Correct.
Okay, then, okay.
Yeah, I would have said,
see if you have that.
When I started, this is, first pass in progress. I would put my name here. And then when it's ready, I would hit ready for both the practice exam and the answer key.
Okay.
And it's ready.
Okay. So, all right, well then we'll stop this recording, and this is how we would do the first initial onset of a practice exam. And then we'll start up a different recording and pick it up as this is where we start with the next step of passes between us and editorial. Let me stop it now.